Kian, welcome to our Tech Podcast Network coverage of CES 2011.
Great. Thank you.
So, we're really seeing this year, and Kian's from Independa is the name of the company. We're seeing a lot of companies this year that are focusing on baby boomers and the aging segment. And reading about your company, it looks like that's what you guys are doing. So why don't you tell us about Independa?
Okay, great. Great to be here. Independa helps caregivers help their loved ones stay at home longer, safer, and more comfortably. So that's our market. There's approaching 50 million family caregivers in America today with the mission of taking care of their loved one to stay at home independently. And worldwide, that's 600 million.
Right.
And as you know, starting literally last week, we have 10,000 people turning 65 for the next 19 years every single day.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing. And so that's what we do. We help that demographic, which others call the sandwich generation,
right.
Take care of the loved ones as a first line of defense, way past the I've fallen and I can't get up.
Right. So it's looking at the bio here is that you guys you're introducing some products, correct? So what are you introducing this year?
We're introducing 3 products. We're launching, in fact, the company on those 3 products, so it's really exciting times for us. One is called Smart Calendaring, the other one is Medication Reminders, and the third one is Life Stories. And they're all under the moniker of Smart Reminders. So Smart Calendar, as you can imagine, the caregiver uses a browser to set up important appointments, including things like birthdays and anniversaries for their loved one,
right.
where they get a call and automatically get connected to people, so they get socially engaged. But also doctor's appointments, social visits, anything that they are typically calling to remind their loved one, and they may forget. They may have to run out of work to do that.
So it's obviously an online application, but some of the older generation aren't so much online. Is it something that can be set up to, like you said, it calls them as well? Exactly. So how are you overcoming some of the age technology barriers? I guess that's the better word to say it.
Well, that's a great question, because there is no requirement on the care receiver to know anything about computers. They don't even have to have a computer for these applications.
Right.
It's all telephony based. And so, for instance, our patent pending technology, you have the calendar. They don't have to know anything about calendar.
Got it.
They get the call. Same thing with medication reminders.
Gotcha.
You set up all the medications. We set up the calls automatically, and also we confirm. They confirm when they've taken the medication, or to get a call back in 20 minutes to confirm if they're running short on something. And then it's invaluable for you to be able to have a report of this.
Right.
So
12
the
months,
system
18.
actually calls them up?
The system calls them up.
So if I have a parent, I will set up the event.
Yes.
And I can trust the system to take care of the rest.
Absolutely. And also the system gives you a dual mode calendar. You can look at your events and their events. So you can make sure if your parent is in Europe or in Australia.
Which they are, by the way.
I figured. You can do it locally in their time zone. And so everything, you can look at their time zone calls and translate into yours. And you can have red alerts and yellow alerts and orange alerts. And everything is really simple to set up, very easy to use.
That is great.
Do you find that with this, how do you, because I think my mom would become annoyed with the product, but at the same time, she's not at the age where she needs reminders. So do you find a typical age when these products come? Well, every family's probably different, right? And when they're going to come on some of these services that they're going to need.
Right.
And having just went through
when they start realizing they start need it.
Right. I guess we're going to realize that they need it, and you become almost the parent at that point again. So you got the calendaring, the medication reminder. I think that's good.
And life stories.
They can be reminded, but how many times are they not going to take it? I know my grandfather, when he was 99, he used to take his medication and throw it in the trash. But you can only suggest. Yep.
That's right.
Yep. You can only suggest.
So we're doing reminders.
Stories. Yeah. Where did that fit in?
That fits in, and you've raised a great point in terms of you have to really be inviting, not just poking and prodding, and you can't be patronizing. So if someone needs to get calls anyway, what's happening is the caregivers, heroes that we're helping, they're calling every day anyway.
Right.
And they're coordinating with siblings and friends and neighbors to make sure dad took that medication.
Yep.
And so, and in that care receiver standpoint, 24% of all medication that's not taken and depending on the studies, 1/3 to 2/3 are never taken, which creates all sorts of health issues.
Yep.
24% is simply because they forget.
Yep.
So we address that big market. But also Life Stories ties into that in the sense that we want to be always inviting and fun. So yes, you get a call and you appreciate it because you do want to take that medication because you don't want to go
Right.
back. However, now you get a call from your caregiver, and the caregiver's on a computer, on the browser. They start Life Stories. They press connect. They get connected. They get a call right then. And also, they then pick a question. Questions could be, tell us about your experience during World War II. How did you meet Dad? How did you meet Mom?
Right.
What's your favorite movie, favorite trip? And at the end of your decision, you pick that. We place a call to your loved one automatically. So now you get connected, and we record that session.
That's nice.
Wow.
It's like your mini podcast, right?
Yep, it
so
is.
now you save it forever. You distribute it to the family for years and generations. And
oh,
it's,
I love that.
You know,
people, our focus groups, they get welled up literally on
That's awesome because I did I knew I lost my grandfather at 99, my grandmother at 98 on my mom's side, but they had such a history of knowledge, 100 years of
Oh, yeah.
So what I did when they were in their mid 90s, when they still were completely competent to be able to tell all these old stories, is I recorded hours but there's so much stuff we missed. That we'll never recover. So this is really cool.
I have the same. I'm in the same situation. My grandfather died before I could really meet him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he has stories because he fled from Norway during World War
Wow.
II German occupation. And so my dad, he has some really, really old audio tapes recorded, and that's all I have. If I had something like this, that would be fantastic.
Exactly.
So what is pricing, availability?
Availability, we launched literally today, so available today. You can get on our site and sign up for a free beta of 6 weeks. You get 6 weeks of use, plus we give you 10 minutes of Life Stories.
Okay.
And then pricing is $19.95 per year on a 1-year plan.
Wow, that's cheap.
$19.95 a year.
No, I'm sorry, $19.95 per month on an
Okay.
annual plan. Thank you.
Okay,
It's
okay.
cheap either way. It's very affordable.
I was going like, holy cow, you're going to sell 1 million of these things right off the bat. So
No, it's $19.95 monthly on an annual plan.
Right.
And also we give $19.95 for 20 minutes of Life Stories.
Okay.
And when we do the Life Stories, to your point, when we did our test pilots with focus groups, the number one comment was everyone needed more time, and everyone was learning more about their own parent than they ever knew.
I bet.
Sure.
We had a guy talking about the attack on Okinawa.
Right.
And the daughter was listening, who was, oh my God, I never even knew this.
Right.
Fantastic.
I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
So $19.95 beginning, and it's available today.
Yep.
It's available today.
That's great. And the website again?
It's
Independa.com.
INDEPENDA.com. So check it out, folks.
That
and,
is great.
Kian, thank you so much for
Thank you,
spending time
guys.
with us. Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
coming. I know we're down here in the back of the hall, but
You're in a great place.
and it's actually quieter than it
Exactly.
is up there.
Yeah.
So
That's
but-
perfect.
But good luck with the show.
Good to meet you.
Congratulations on
Thank
the
you
launch.
so much. My pleasure.
And thank you for coming in.
Bye now.
Take care. That's cool. That's one of those products.
Awesome. Great job. You guys
Yeah.
are great.